Hey traders, it's Tuesday 7th of September 2021. No high priority news expected today. We did have some earlier, which was from the Reserve Bank of Australia with an interest rate decision. Interest rates were held at 0.1%, so no change there. Quick look at the dollar. You can see the overall 4-hour trend is to the downside. Okay, so that is the bias until that trend changes. Okay, so while we are in a downtrend where sellers are in control, that is where we are interested in trading. Okay, weakness in the USD. That's if you are a trend trader. If you're a counter trend trader, then you can look at buying the USD. But more money is made in the market by trading with the trend. Let me just put that out to you. So at the moment we are in, if I show you on the 1 hour, we are actually in a corrective phase. Now, if you know anything about trading, and hopefully you know a little bit, market moves in cycles. So in a downtrend, we would expect an impulse, a correction, an impulse, a correction, impulse, correction. And then we could possibly change trend. And if we change trend, we'd start seeing something like this, okay? So where we were getting lower highs and lower lows, if we were to change trend, we would then see higher highs and higher lows. So at the moment, we're seeing lower highs and lower lows. And as you can see at the moment, if we are in this downtrend, price is actually making a low, a high, higher low, and we've actually made a higher high there because it's higher than this high. So we're actually in a corrective phase. Okay, there is your impulse and this is your correction. And if the trend was to continue, we'd then expect sellers to come into the market. Now we will see if that happens, but right at this moment in time we are in a corrective phase on the dollar. So we are seeing dollar strength. Doesn't mean that it's going to go on. It could be short-lived. So my moving averages here on H1, 200, 50 and 20 are all in order for a downtrend still. So still looking good for downside, but dollar could potentially come all the way up to this 200 EMA and then start to reverse. It could reverse anywhere around here, so we will be keeping our eyes on it. But if we are still interested in following the USD trend, which is to the downside, we'd be looking for potentially buys on Aussie USD, buys on Euro USD, buys on Pound USD, buys on Kiwi USD, and then looking for weakness on these pairs. So selling, selling, selling potentially. Now, I had a quick look at the charts, and Pound USD looks very, very interesting indeed. Okay, let me just take the moving averages off for a second. There is the H1 time frame without the moving averages. We have a trend line here. If I just adjust that slightly, we can see a touch there, touch there, touch there, and we're coming into that same zone here. So we might see buyers start to come in here. Now also, if I put my averages back on and if I delete that trend line for a second, we have that 200 moving average here. Now sometimes we get the market comes and bounces off that 200 moving average. So it did it there, did it there, did it there, did it there. So we might see, if this trend was to continue of higher highs, higher lows, we might see buyers come in off the 200 EMA. So it's just worth watching, having the trend line in 200 EMA and seeing if we get some kind of bullish reaction off either of the trend line or the 200. So aggressive traders can look for that trend change there, or at the 200, looking for buyers. Or if you want to play it conservative, and there's nothing wrong with this, it's just to let the buyers take control. Okay, look for that break above the CTL and you want a bullish close. Okay, that would give you a good indication that the next move to the upside is beginning, if that's what's going to happen. So let me just get rid of that, put those moving averages back on. You could look for a bullish close above the CTL and then place a buy stop above it if that's what you like. Or if you want to trade the smaller time frames, you know, you can look for that clear break above, look at smaller time frames for that pullback, and then look to trade the pullback. Okay, so then you'd be going down to perhaps to a 5-minute or 15-minute time frames to trade this, and you're trading this little move here on a smaller time frame. So you let this happen, and then you're looking for those sellers in this time frame. So could be on a 15-minute. You'll see sellers, a mini downtrend, and then you want to see the change of trend from those sellers into buyers. And when you see that, you could potentially go long there. So that, I would suggest that that is for more experienced traders. Okay. But Pound USD looks really, really interesting. Kiwi USD has been a really nice, strong move to the upside, and you know, if that is going to continue, then brilliant. We've got our CTL here. Price is, you know, it's in a corrective formation at the moment, so let's just have a look at some of the other time frames. It's possible we could get a deeper correction on this. I mean, the ideal place for me is around about 70.71, which was a previous resistance level. Don't know whether that will happen though. Literally, you know, Kiwi is a market that can really move very impulsively. What I would say is that we've had 1, 2, 3, 4 days of buying. We have our first day of selling there, which was yesterday. We had less liquidity in the market, and we have seen a break below yesterday's low. So we're seeing an evening star pattern here. So potentially we could have a deeper correction on Kiwi dollar, but I will be looking out for it. Okay, I will be looking to see if we break above this CTL. But yeah, we could pull all the way back to maybe that 200 moving average. So it's a case of understanding what the market is doing, and it's a case of waiting, you know, waiting in this case, if the bias is to buy, waiting for those signs that buyers have now come into the market and taking control of it. So the further this goes down, the further this moves, the better in theory, because when we start to see buyers come in, if we do, then we can get better reward to risk trade. We can get to our targets will be, you know, way up here, and if we're buying from down here, then we got all that profit to take all these pips as it price moves to the upward. So I don't mind if it has a little bit of a deep retracement. Quick look at Aussie, you know, very, very similar picture really to Kiwi USD. Really strong moves, corrective phase at the moment. We're at that 200, sorry, at the 50 moving average on H4. On the daily, again, evening star pattern at the moment. We've got the 8 moving average there. I love to look at the 8 moving average on the daily for price to come and interact and reject in a trending market. So it would be nice if we got this pulling back a little bit deeper, come and bounce off that 8 moving average, and then start to see bias come in. So okay, so the bias, you know, bias is for Aussie USD, Euro USD, Pound USD, Kiwi USD is to buy. Okay, that is trading with the trend, unless we see that trend change. Okay, so we're buying with the market sentiment at the moment. Okay, well, we're trading with the market sentiment. That's what we're looking for. The market sentiment can change though, so if we see it change, then our bias will change, but not until we see that market sentiment change. So I hope that's clear to everybody. So we'll be looking at today could be just a whole day of counter trend moves, i.e. corrections in the market, and if so, then I will personally just let them play out, because I'm more interested in trading with the trend, because that's where the money is made. All right, so but each to their own. But I'll be looking to just stick with the momentum of the market with the trend. Okay, so guys, have a great day and keep your eyes out for any charts that we post. And I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.